Hello and welcome to Engage Chesterfield. I'm Amy Bartilotti, the coordinator for the Office of Family and Community Engagement. Today we have with us George Fohl, the coordinator of the Office of Gifted Education. We're going to talk a little bit today about what it means to be identified as a gifted and talented learner and what resources are available for them in our school division. Welcome, George. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I am too. Quick question, just to get started. What does it mean to be identified as gifted and talented? What does that mean?
That's a good question. And there's a lot of confusion with the definition because there isn't one set definition. I think we as humans like someone to tell us what is something and what is not. And the problem when we approach gifted and talented learners is there's not one set definition of a gifted and talented child. I mean, but we can take an analogy and look at like performing arts or athletics. When we see someone who is talented, like a talented singer, we are like, wow, that is an amazing singer, or that is a fantastic quarterback.
Right.
And we recognize the talent by the achievement that they demonstrate. But a lot of times we also look and we say, wow, that person has a lot of potential. And if we place them somewhere with a coach or with a mentor that can foster that talent to develop the skill, we eventually see the achievement. But a lot of times when we approach gifted and talented education, we don't remember the potential piece. We focus on the achievement piece. Wow, that gifted and talented learner is a straight A student. But we forget about the students who show us that, wow, with the right types of services, that student with potential can grow and their giftedness can emerge.
That's awesome. So if I have a child at home that, what does that look like? Being a parent, you have all of these opportunities in a classroom, right? To see that light. What does that look like at home?
That's also a toughie because I could spout off a list of characteristics for you, but then it turns into a checklist. And then as parents, we go home and we're like, oh, I see, yep, that, only 2 characteristics. Sorry, you're not talented in science. But in reality, just like you and I are different, gifted and talented learners are different too. However, I'll tell you some of the things that I've noticed just in my career as an educator that I have seen that are true of that talented learner. The first thing is the passion behind a topic of study. If you've got a student or your child at home that all they talk about is dinosaurs, all they read about is dinosaurs, all they think about, dream about are dinosaurs. That's a passion for a topic. That doesn't mean that they love science, but that intense interest in a topic of study, whether it lasts 3 days or 3 years, is an indicator. It's a good indicator to us. I think another thing that we can look at is just the sense of humor that the student has or the child has at home. Humor requires a lot of logic and thinking outside the box and a lot of creativity. And we forget how complex like sarcasm is or just a pun could be. But for a gifted learner, that's part of who they are. And so they understand these complexities. And that's a good way to indicate, hey, my child could be a talented learner. Another thing that you could think about is if your child comes home from school and they're like, wow, I learned this in 5 minutes, but we spent 45 minutes on it today. If they learn at a faster rate, then I would say that's a really good idea, indicator of, my child could be possibly talented in that area.
So when I'm assuming then that there's a formal process that a student goes through as they're being identified, and then certain supports that are in place in our division. Could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Sure. I'll first talk about the referral process.
Okay.
When someone is referred to for gifted education services, we basically go off of whether it's a parent, a teacher, a community member, basically anybody can refer a student. And as a parent, I would never discourage a parent from pursuing a referral.
Okay.
But before that, they should have a conversation with their child's teacher or even the counselor at the school, because we see a different child sometimes at our house than the teacher or the counselor sees at school. And to have that collaboration going on is immense, and it's a partnership that not only just benefits the child, but really benefits their long-term education. So I would definitely begin that with a conversation with the school. But there's a referral form that exists, and these referral forms can be obtained from the child's school. And you can walk into the counseling office and request one of these forms. Now, we have set referral deadlines in Chesterfield County Public Schools. And so that's very important for parents to remember. October 15th is our deadline for grade 5 referrals, and that is a firm deadline. Students that are in grade 5 need to be referred by October 15th. Now, if that day falls on a weekend, then it's the following Monday. So if the 15th is a Saturday, then the following Monday would be the referral deadline. But that is so crucial because of the process that we go through. It's a very timely process that needs to be done quickly. And so that's why we have that deadline. Grades 2 through 4 deadline, or grades 6 through 8, those are due by January 15th. And kindergarten and first grade referrals are due by March 15th.
Great.
And once they're referred for services, the parent just fills out the form and they sign it and they return it to their child's school. And that starts the process. Without that form, the school cannot start the process for the child. And that's so crucial for parents to know.
How long does the process last?
The process varies. It's about, I would say there's about 2 months between the referral and when the parents receive an answer. So for example, what we would do when we get the referral is we start scheduling standardized testing. We administer aptitude and achievement testing, and we collect grades and teacher rating scales. And that comes together to form a matrix by which decisions are made. Those decisions are mailed home usually about, like I said, 2 months after the referral deadline. So like December 15th is when 5th grade decisions would be mailed home to parents.
Fantastic. So if I have more questions or if I want to know more information about this, who should I contact then?
That's a great question, because it's sometimes hard to know who to contact for various questions. My biggest advice is start at the school. Talk with the counselor and the teacher. But every school also has a gifted education support specialist assigned to that school to handle specific questions regarding talented learners in the core content areas. That's a wonderful possibility there. There's also the teachers of the school-based and center-based gifted programs that may be able to help.
So you say school-based and center-based. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that for me? Like, do you have different levels or different sites in which students are served?
We do, and in Chesterfield County Public Schools, we have a wide array of gifted education services to serve our talented learners. There are actually 3 main categories right now. The first one is our talent development services. Those are services that are delivered to all students in schools, such as our Inventive Thinking Lab, which students basically play games that facilitate creative and critical thinking, but they reflect on the learning. And the awesome thing to see is watching them transfer those skills to their core content work. So it's like, wow, this is like level 15 of that game. And they're like, oh, but we have to persevere and press on. And they get that hard math problem because they discovered that skill by playing the game.
And they think they're just playing a game. Exactly. That's awesome.
It's wonderful. So talent development is a large part of what we do for our students in Chesterfield County. We also have school-based gifted services, and every school in Chesterfield County Public Schools has school-based gifted services. And these are services where students who are talented in science or English or math or social studies are grouped together, and they are given content that is tailored to challenge them and foster growth in them. And that exists in every Chesterfield County school. We also have our center-based gifted services. There are 4 elementary school sites and 4 middle school sites. And this program is for students who met the eligibility criteria for that program, and they are bused to these sites for that program and those interventions there.
That's really cool. It kind of takes me back to this place that everybody has a place to grow in Chesterfield in our school division, and certainly with our gifted and talented learners or those that may show the potential, that's another great resource. Thank you so much today for coming in and sharing your expertise. And thank you for joining us today on Engage Chesterfield. We'll see you again soon.